Matrix here with Ron's Media Matrix from Freedomizer Radio. And anyway, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a little problem solving with Audacity. And what it involves is, if you look up here, we got a backtrack that's 45 seconds long when you select it. And then we got our spoken part down there. It's a minute and 2 seconds long. So what we want to do is we want to take the backtrack and stretch it, which is essentially going to change the tempo of it. Now, the reason I emphasize that a particular situation I ran across when I was kind of had a deadline and I wanted to finish a spoof I had, and I didn't want to go back and replay another riff and record it and put it in. So I had pretty much what I wanted. Only thing was, the selected part, the backtrack I had selected wasn't long enough to have an intro and an outro at each end for the spoken word part. So what we're going to do here is we're going to change the tempo of this backtrack. We're going to add some time to it. And so, again, this is 45 seconds long. This is a minute and 2 seconds long. Now, what I did is I took out a piece of paper and did a little arithmetic. I got a 45 second long backtrack, and I got a minute and 2 second long spoken word part, and a minute and 2 seconds comes out to 62 seconds. So I did a little calculation, and what if I wanted to be the backtrack to be the equal length of the spoken word, I add 17 seconds, but I wanted a little more length to it so I could have an intro and an outro on it. So I added an additional 6 seconds. That's 23 seconds. So what I came up with, I need a minute and 28 seconds or 88 seconds for the length of the backtrack, and that will give me some coverage on either ends. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change the tempo of the backtrack I got selected here. And so this is how I do it. You go up to Effects, you go to Change Tempo, and you get a little window here. Now it has percent change, but what I want to do is I want to change the length, and I've already done it here. I put in 88 seconds for the length of the backtrack. And you can preview it here, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I've ran through this. So I'm going to go ahead and stretch this, and I just press OK. And it's changing the tempo. Now, see, it's a little bit longer now. So what we got to do is next is what I wanted to do an auto duck, and I wanted to work on this this little part here a little bit and do what they call an envelope, and I'll get to that. But first things first, we're going to line things up a little bit, and what we're going to do, as we did before, we're going to go to the middle, down to the spoken part, and we're going to go to the time shift tool, which is already selected here, and I'm going to shift it to kind of like in the middle of this thing. Now I could zoom in on this. That'd be a little bit another step, but I'm going to just kind of eyeball it here for the time being, and that looks like it's about in the middle of our backtrack. Looks pretty close. Shift it a little bit more there. Maybe that's about right there. So anyway, now we got it in the middle. But what I want to do first is I'll show you how to do an envelope here. And this is what we're going to do is we're going to decrease the volume on the start and on the finish. We're going to kind of pinch the ends down here. So to do that, we go to this tool here, which is the envelope tool, and click that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make some points here. We're going to go right at where we're lined up approximately. We're going to put a points there, and then we're going to put some points here, and then we're going to add another one in between, and another one in between down here. Now it gets a little tricky. Now you want to put it on the very end, add some there, and then you add some there. And I'm doing this with single clicks. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of shape this thing a little bit, shape the ends. this is kind of a fade here. We're going to shape it down, almost down to nothing. Kind of like a sausage, I guess, you know. Kind of get it more or less the same. Pretty close. We'll kind of add a nice little curve here to it. Now what we got here is the volume will gradually increase up to the point of the spoken word, and then at the end it will slowly decrease. And I'm going to get these back up to the regular levels there. So we got kind of a shape here. Shape this a little bit more. So we got something there that kind of looks like a sausage. Now we've got the volume shaped on this envelope. So now let's see. I'll play this to give you an idea of what it's like. I'll mute the spoken part, and we'll you'll be able to hear how this works. So that's how that works. Now, what we're going to do next, we're going to auto duck this middle portion here. And so what we'll have is this gradually increasing sound, then the duck where the speech comes in, and then as the speech ends, it'll gradually play out and decrease at the end. So, anyway, so I've got the speech muted for the time being. So we're going to do an auto duck here. And I don't guess we really wanted that point there. Well, we got it now. I don't know how to get rid of the point. I think there's a right or left click command. No. Anyway, we're going to just leave it. It leaves it at the top of the channel now. So what we're going to do is next is we're going to do the auto duck. So we go up to the select tool, and we're in this. We're selected the backtrack. It'll say it's surrounded by a little yellow rectangle. We only want to select the backtrack because when I was doing this initially, I tried selecting both of these and it gives you an error. So you want to stay selected in the backtrack. Now, as I did before, we want to line it up with the boundaries of our spoken word, and you can see in the bottom there, you can see the boundaries. I've got it muted for the time being, but anyway, you want to hit those boundaries. So we're going to do like I did before, and we're going to go and see it lines up on the yellow there, and we're going to tweak this one a little bit. Okay, now we're going to do an auto duck for the backtrack, and so this is a portion that we want the volume reduced while the spoken word is playing. So we go up to Effect, we got auto duck. Now I had it at 17 dB, so we'll just for the fun of it, we're going to go up to 16 and hit OK. And as it goes to processing it, and it's slowly working its way there, and we'll have like we did before now. But now we've done a couple other things. Like I say, we've stretched our backtrack to a length we can deal with, and then we put an envelope on it, and now we're doing the auto duck part. So, takes a few seconds here, and then I'll go back and I'll unmute the spoken word and we can listen to it. With the video capture thing, it's not going to sound exactly like you're going to hear it when you use it in your broadcast. So, I mean, once you learn how to do this, one of the things is you can review your work in Audacity, and sometimes you got to keep a close eye on these meters up here. You don't want to get in the red, because once you get it in the file server, you might want to lower your decibel. Once you get exported it to an MP3, you might want to go back and tweak your decibel levels. So once you get up to file server, it'll sound pretty consistent with the rest of your program. But that's kind of a thing you just kind of learn as you go along. Okay, we got our auto duck complete. Now you can see it's shrunk down here. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to unmute spoken word and see what this sounds like. And we're going to go to the beginning. It's slowed down quite a bit. Okay, this is Ron Hicks with Ron's Media Matrix from Freedom Eyes Radio. And since I have some additional time off, I decided I'd do another little training video on Audacity. And in this presentation, what I'm going to show you is it's a little bit of a problem-solving thing. Well, we have a backtrack that is not long enough for our spoken word part. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to stretch the audio track, the backtrack, so you can incorporate it in your promotion or whatever it is you may be doing, a spoof or whatever it may be. And also, after we stretch the audio, I'm going to do a little bit and show you how to do an envelope. And then from there, after we make our envelope, then we'll do an auto duck. So we're kind of going to do three things in one here. So anyway, so I'm going to stop my recording here and we'll show you how we go about this. Alright, so stay tuned. Okay, there we have it. That's complete. So, as always, you know, I hope you enjoy my training videos, and using Audacity is a free tool that gives us a lot of independence for our radio show host out there. And with me personally, this backtracker here, I created myself. I like to keep all my content original, and as long as you're hosting your programming, you can learn how to use the tools of Audacity to create the best possible content for your show. So anyway, that's being it. That's my presentation of I guess it's a three-part problem solver, auto duck, and envelope presentation. So thanks for viewing.